Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Daniel here at Victory Honda of Monroe, and today we're going to take a look at this gorgeous Obsidian Blue 2020 Passport EXL all-wheel drive. All right, first and foremost, we're going to take a look at the engine for you. So this is Honda's Earth Dreams 3.5 liter V6 motor. Going to push about 280 horsepower and about 262 foot-pounds of torque. This is paired with Honda's 9-speed transmission, and then also you're going to average about 19 miles per gallon city, 24 highway, and about 21 combined. All right, another thing that we're going to step on is the headlight. So this is going to be a projector low beam and then a standard halogen reflector high beam. But you do have LED running lights. Your low beam is going to be LEDs, and then, like I said, halogen for your high beams. And then, of course, down below you do have LED fog lights and then halogen turn signals. Next thing we're going to take a look at is going to be these gorgeous wheels. So these are going to be 20 by 18-inch rims wrapped in 245/50 tires. They are like a graphite color. Sets the car off really well, especially in this Obsidian Blue. Another thing that we're going to take a look at on the side, of course, is going to be your mirrors. So you do have your LED integrated turn signals on each of the mirrors, and then these mirrors are heated as well. So of course in the wintertime they're not going to frost up or anything like that. Another thing on this vehicle, of course, is that you're going to get Honda's proximity key. So it's just going to look like this, of course. You're going to have your lock and your unlock and your remote start, your trunk release, and then your panic button. But of course, since it is a proximity key, you can walk up to the vehicle, you grab your door handle, it'll unlock, and then of course you have your button right here to click and it'll lock. Now at the back of the vehicle, of course, it's going to give a little bit of stance of a Pilot, but a little bit different. A lot of people are familiar with the Pilot, not so much the Passport yet because it is fairly new. It just came out last year in 2019. But similar to the front, you are going to get LED tail lights and then halogen turn signals and then halogen reverse lights and reflectors down here as well. You will get dual exhaust in the back, so they'll come out, they're actually visible. And then of course, being an EXL, you will get the power liftgate. So either you have the button underneath right here, and then you do have it on your key fob as well. So if I just go ahead and hold this real quick, it'll lift that tailgate for you. And then of course you can hold the button here and it'll close, or if you have your button right here, go ahead and tap that and it'll shut for you. All hands free. One thing that I don't want to miss before we step inside the vehicle, of course, is going to be your fuel cap. So basically, this is a capless system, so you don't have to mess with any caps or anything like that. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and step inside of this Passport. So like I said, proximity key, so you just walk up, you go ahead and grab your door handle, it'll unlock for you and you can pull it open. As you can see, this vehicle is equipped with the gray leather interior. Being an EXL, that is what gives you your leather. If you look at this door panel right here, of course, you do have all your window controls. The front two windows are auto down and up. Then of course you got your power locks and then your window locks, that way if you got the kids in the back or anything like that. And then you do have your memory seating over here, so position 1 and position 2, and then of course your set button. And then down below that you do have your fuel release and then your power lift gate. Also, you do have a little box right here in the corner that's going to be your blind spot monitoring system. So basically on each side of the vehicle, if anybody's in your blind spot, that will light up orange as long as you do have that feature on and active. All right, one thing to notice about this Passport is, of course, you are going to get a 10-way power seat on your driver's side, and then of course the passenger side will be a 4-way. And then of course, once you are in the vehicle, with one click of a button, as long as you have your key on you, this button right here says engine start stop, foot on the brake, hit that button and the vehicle starts. Okay, so starting in the driver's seat, we're going to work our way from the left to the right. So of course over here down to your left, you're going to have your mirror controls and then your econ button, and then of course below that you're going to have part of our sensing package on this vehicle. So you're going to have your forward collision to turn it off, and then of course your road departure warning, and then traction control over here. And then of course down there by my foot you can see that is the hood release, your parking brake, and then of course your brake pedal and your gas pedal. Moving to the steering wheel, of course, you do have some controls on that as well. So basically to your left is going to be all your audio controls, and then of course your Bluetooth controls, and then also the controls to control your screen, where your speedometer, I should say. So, and then to the right, of course, that's going to be your cruise control, but being that this is equipped with Honda Sensing, of course, it is adaptive cruise control. and then your lane keeping assist system. So it's going to look a little bit different, but it is fairly easy to work. Of course, you have your normal reset, set, cancel, and then instead of an on and off button, you're going to have your main button, and then to the right of that, that is going to be your lane keeping assist button if you want to turn that on. And then of course this little guy right here, this is basically going to be the distance between you and the car in front of you once you do set your adaptive cruise control. Moving up to the dash, so basically this is going to be an all digital speedometer, besides of course your temp gauges and then your fuel gauge as well. Of course, you have a couple different screens. So like I said, back over here, if you hit this home button, you can scroll through a couple different things. So of course, you have your trip computer, your all-wheel drive torque, your phone, your now playing, your maintenance, your settings, and then your units, and then your blank. So that way, if you just wanted a blank screen. Stock over here is going to have, of course, all your light controls, your fog lights, and then of course it is your turn signals as well. And then over here is going to be all your windshield wiper controls. You do have pedal shifters as well. That way, if you want to shift on your own, I mean, like I said before, it is the 9-speed automatic, so you don't have to, but some people, I mean, it's personal. All right, guys, so taking a look at the center dash right here. So basically, this is going to be where all your electronics are and whatnot. So of course, up top, you are going to have your 8-inch touchscreen radio, or infotainment system, I guess I should say, of course. This is going to be equipped with, of course, your Bluetooth. Your backup camera is going to show up here. Of course, your standard sources, so your FM, your Sirius, your AM, and whatnot. But this is also going to include Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So even though that this vehicle isn't equipped with navigation, it'll mirror your phone right on there. So basically, you plug in your phone through the USB down here with the little smartphone on it. And then, of course, it'll mirror it up there as long as you set it up that way. And then, of course, your navigation, your text messages, everything will show up there, so you don't have to option for a vehicle that does have the navigation and spend a little bit more money if the EXL is what you prefer. So below that, you are going to have, of course, your start button like we took a look at, and then your climate controls. So this vehicle is equipped with a tri-zone climate control, similar to on like the Pilot and the Ridgeline. So basically, of course, you can adjust your driver and passenger temperature, but then you do have the option to adjust the rear climate as well from up here. Of course, below that, you do have your 3-stage heated seats for your driver and your passenger by these buttons right here on each side. Of course, left is driver, right is passenger. And then below that, like we kind of took a look, you do have your USB, your 2.5 amp, that'll also connect you to CarPlay or Android Auto. And then to the left of that, you do have a 12-volt power outlet with 180 watt max. Below that, you of course are going to have your gear selector. So basically this is paired with Honda's 9-speed transmission, like we talked about it at the beginning of the video. Being that you are going to get your push button gear selector. So basically by the push of a button, you're in your gear that you want. So of course you do have your park, your reverse. It's a little bit different, so you pull your reverse button down instead of actually clicking down on it. Your neutral, your drive, and then of course your sport mode. And then below that, you're going to have your terrain settings and then your auto shut off. So basically, when you come to a stop, the vehicle will shut off. If you don't prefer that, you can click this button and it'll shut off that feature. You do have to click it every time you restart the vehicle. It's just because it kind of presets itself. So, but by the click of this button right here, so you click this button up on your front dash right here, it'll go through all your different terrains. So whatever terrain you're driving on, of course, normal, snow, mud, sand, I mean, you just keep clicking it and it'll scroll through the different ones, and that'll adjust the all-wheel drive system to the way that it needs to be for whatever terrain that you are driving. One more thing that I almost did forget, you do have a couple more USBs and then an aux port and a power outlet down in your center console. This is a massive center console right here, of course, with the Pilot, the Ridgeline, and the Passport. People that are familiar, you do have your armrest on each individual seat, so the center console is not your armrest, so you can slide this open. You have all this storage right here. Of course, this is a new vehicle, so there's a couple little plastics and everything, but you look down here, super deep, and then you have your flip up for your different ports right here. Go ahead and close that, and then of course you do have a sliding little tray right here that'll show you could put stuff in there and slide it back or push it to the front. Then go ahead and move into the top. Of course, you're going to have your rear view mirror. This is Honda's HomeLink system. So basically, you can pair your garage doors up to 3 of them right here for you. And then this is auto dimming. So basically, with this button right here, you can turn off the on and off for the auto dimming if you don't like the mirror to dim when somebody's shining their lights in, of course, and whatnot. You do have, of course, your flip down sun visor with the mirrors. They are illuminated, so that is both on driver and passenger side. And then over here you do have your map lights. Of course, this vehicle is equipped with a sunroof. It does tilt and slide back, so that's all controlled with this button here. And then to the side, the next to that is going to be your interior lighting control. So if you want the lights to come on when you open the doors at nighttime, or if you want them off, or if you just need to turn them on, that's all controlled right there. And then of course, if you need one light, you can go ahead and click your map light. Either side, it'll come on. And then in front of that, you do have your sunglasses holder along with a conversation mirror. So you push it up a little bit, and then of course you got your conversation mirror, and then you can push it up some more and it'll completely close. And then like with the controls, right here you are gonna have your sunroof. So this does slide back, and then it reveals your sunroof, and then it will tilt up by the push of this button right here. So you push this button, it'll go ahead and tilt itself up, and then you can slide this button back, and then it'll slide the moonroof back. It'll go completely black, and then all you gotta do is hit the button forward and it'll shut for you. And then you can go ahead and pull this closed. And there you go. Okay, moving to the back, of course, on the back door panel, there isn't much. Of course, you're gonna have your window controls, a couple cup holders, a little mat pocket there, and then of course your handles, whatnot, and then your locks right here. One thing that is cool, of course, you are gonna have your sunshade. So you lift this tab up right here, go ahead and pull that up. There are some little hooks right here. Just hook those on the hook right there. And then you do have a sunshade in each of the rear doors, so it is on that side as well. On the inside, of course, once you get in, on the back of your seats, you do have a couple little pockets, a little cubby right here as well. So if you got something smaller, maybe like a phone or something, you can shove it in there if you'd like, and then it is on that side as well. Here are your vents for the rear climate like we were talking about. So of course the driver or the passenger can adjust your temperatures and your fan speeds for you if it's too hot or too cold. And then below that you got a little storage compartment, and then you do have two USBs right here, 2.5 amps. That way if your rear passengers need to charge their phone or any type of entertainment device, I mean, they can do that by just plugging it in right there. One thing that is cool about these seats in the rear, so they are on a track, so it's like a 60-40. So this would be your 60, this would be your 40 over here. They are on a track. You pull this lever right here. Of course, these will slide forward and backwards, so that way in case you need a little bit more leg space or maybe more trunk space, so on and so forth. And then of course you do have a lever right here, so you can pull this lever up and it'll fold that seat completely flat. That way if you have a larger item and need a flat surface, of course you can do that, and then you can leave that seat up, or you can fold that one down as well. So we'll go ahead and put that up for now and move to the back. All right, so like we talked about, this does have your power lift gate. So by the push of this button, it'll go ahead and open this tailgate up for us. Let that open up. All right, so as you can tell in the Passport, you do have a lot of cargo space. Okay, moving into the back, of course, this is a power lift gate. So by the touch of a button, it'll open up for you. So I'll go ahead and let that open up real quick. Okay, so as you can tell, this is a ton of storage space. So that is one thing that it does compete and with all the competitors best in, of course. So basically with your seats up, you're going to have 41.2 cubic feet of space back here, and then if you fold your seats down, you are going to have 77.9. Very, very spacious back here. So of course there's the floor mats back here. They're just chilling back here until of course the vehicle is sold. Over here you are going to have a 12-volt outlet. So basically you can flip this open, you can plug in anything back here. That way if you're, let's say at the river, taking some tubes out, you can go ahead and plug it in there for your air pump or whatever. That way you don't have to go to the front. And then on each side you are going to have these little buttons right here. So it is on the driver and the passenger side. By the push of that button, those seats will go down. So, and then of course, kind of like the front, it is a 60-40. So you go ahead and hit this one, then you do have a completely flat surface. So you do have a couple compartments on each side. So one there, and then one there. And then one thing that is cool as well, so by the lift of this lever right here, you can open this up, and then you do have some cubby compartments down here also. And then you can also release it right here, and you do have one more right there. And then of course your spare tire, and then your subwoofer for the infotainment system. So, all right guys, so that's going to conclude today's walk around video. One last thing, I will go ahead and show you the sticker in the window. It will be a little bit hard to see because it is sunny out today, but if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Hope you enjoyed.